Hey everyone, welcome back to Rocky Goes to Hollywood. Today we're taking a glamorous dive into the life of the one and only Brigitte Bardot. Known for her breathtaking beauty, captivating presence, and her trailblazing role in shaping the modern image of female stars, Bardot became a global icon. But beyond her stunning looks, there was a bold spirit, a commitment to animal rights, and a journey filled with both triumphs and struggles. In this video, we'll uncover the fascinating details that made Bardot one of Hollywood's most unforgettable legends. Before we start, my apologies for mispronouncing any French names. I quit French halfway through high school. So let's step into the spotlight and explore everything you need to know about Brigitte Bardot. She was born on September 28, 1934, into a wealthy Parisian family. But Bardot's childhood was far from idyllic. Her parents were strict Catholics who imposed rigid rules on her and her younger sister Mijanou. Her mother controlled every aspect of her life, including her friendships, leaving her feeling isolated and stifled. As a child, she and her sister accidentally broke her parents' prized vase. In a fit of rage, her father whipped both girls 20 times and then coldly treated them as strangers afterward. This event left a lasting scar on Bardot, fueling her desire to defy her parents and break free from their oppressive control. Her mother enrolled her in ballet lessons and Bardot showed promise, but her life took a dramatic turn when her striking beauty caught the attention of Elle magazine's director. Bardot became a junior model for Elle, and by 1950, at just 15 years old, she graced the magazine's cover. This marked the beginning of her journey into the world of fashion and entertainment, setting the stage for her future as an international icon. Aspiring screenwriter 22-year-old Roger Vadim saw her Elle cover and showed it to director Marc Allegret, who gave Bardot a screen test for his next film. However, unimpressed, he did not cast her. Although she failed to land the role, she won Vadim's heart. Their relationship was scandalous, not only because of their age difference, but also because Vadim represented everything Bardot's conservative parents despised. Her parents tried to separate the couple. Her father even threatened Vadim with a revolver, warning him that if he ever touched his little girl, he'd use it. It was all too much for Brigitte, who, one evening when the rest of the family was out, put her head in the oven and turned on the gas. By chance, her parents returned early and managed to save her in time. Terrified, her parents relented and allowed the relationship to continue, on the condition that Bardot wait until she was 18 to marry Vadim. Vadim played a pivotal role in shaping Bardot's career and public image. He groomed her to become the ultimate fantasy for men, emphasizing her wild, rebellious and sensual persona. He secured her the title role in Willy Rosier's Manina, the Girl in the Bikini. Shot in the summer of 1952, Brigitte spent most of the film scantily clad in a bikini. Her father was outraged and demanded cuts. Rosier compromised by agreeing to allow a judicial referee to see the film before it was officially released. In November 1952, with Brigitte now 18, the referee ruled that the film was decent and could be shown without any risk to her honor. In December, Brigitte and Vadim were finally married. None of Bardot's early films had the impact of her appearance at the 1953 Cannes Film Festival. Amidst a beach full of stars, she arrived in a bathing suit, immediately drawing the attention of photographers, strategically orchestrated by Vadim. She posed on the beach in front of the Carlton Hotel and even secured a spot on the aircraft carrier Midway. Though still relatively unknown, she had stolen the spotlight from Hollywood's biggest stars. At 26, Roger Vadim wrote the screenplay that launched Bardot's stardom and his directing career. Partnering with producer Raoul Levy, he secured funding with difficulty after insisting on shooting in colour and cinemascope. Filming of And God Created Woman took place in Saint-Tropez and Nice in mid-1956. It starred Bardot as Juliet, an 18-year-old orphan whose uninhibited sexuality entangles her with a businessman, Eric Carradine, and brothers Antoine and Michael. Her seductive defiance led to a scandal, censorship battles, and outrage, with critics calling the film vulgar. Initially a flop in France, it became a sensation abroad. British censors demanded cuts, though, while the US Catholic Church tried to ban it, only fueling its success. It became the first French film to outsell a Hollywood blockbuster, surpassing the Ten Commandments. Life magazine quipped, "Since the Statue of Liberty, no French girl has ever shone quite as much light on the United States." Re-released in France, it became a phenomenon. While filming And God Created Woman, Bardot fell for co-star Jean-Louis Trintignant. Initially a ploy to make Vadim jealous, it became serious, marking the end of her marriage. Their 1957 separation was amicable and Vadim remained a lifelong confidant. Now a global star, Bardot's career surged. She declined a role in a film with Frank Sinatra, opting instead for Love Is My Profession in 1958 with Jean Gabin. That year, Cinemonde magazine named her France's top star, and her popularity soared worldwide. Fame came at a cost, though, and the constant media attention left her feeling trapped. Her romance with Jean-Louis lasted just 6 months, followed by brief flings with Gustavo Rocco and Gilbert Bécaud. Seeking refuge, she bought a house in Saint-Tropez, where she met singer Sacha Distel. Their whirlwind romance dominated headlines, but the pressure proved too much for him. By summer's end, their affair was over. The 1959 film Babette Goes to War introduced her to 22-year-old co-star Jacques Cherrier. Their on-set romance intensified during a holiday in Chamonix, where a snowstorm stranded them in a chalet and Bardot became pregnant. Cherrier insisted on marriage, and a low-key ceremony in a Paris suburb was quickly overrun by the press. Their marriage faced immediate challenges. Cherrier was hospitalized for appendicitis and then was conscripted for military service. Mocked relentlessly in the barracks, he suffered a breakdown and attempted suicide. Temporarily discharged, he returned home, but the couple remained under siege from the media. On the 11th of January 1960, their son Nicholas was born, but motherhood didn't come naturally to Bardot. "How could I raise a child when I still needed my mother?" she later admitted. She saw Nicholas only intermittently throughout his childhood, and it wasn't until her 60s, when he was married with children of his own, that they truly reconciled. 6 weeks after giving birth, Bardot took a small role in It Happened All Night, followed by the lead in The Truth. Playing Dominique, a girl entangled in Parisian bohemia who kills her unfaithful lover, the role mirrored Bardot's own inner turmoil. The film was a critical and commercial triumph, later becoming her favourite film. But press intrusion and Cherrier's jealousy over her on-screen intimacy with co-star Sammy Frey pushed her to the brink. Exhausted, Bardot sought refuge in a secluded coastal village with a friend. For 2 weeks, she lived in disguise, but a photographer inevitably tracked her down. On her 26th birthday, another photograph was taken at a restaurant, her breaking point. That night, she attempted suicide, slashing her wrists and overdosing on barbiturates. Found at the bottom of the garden, she was rushed to a clinic in Nice where doctors declared she had been minutes from death. Recovering at her Saint-Tropez home, she leaned on Vadim for support. Her divorce from Cherrier was finalised in 1962, with him gaining custody of their son Nicholas. Bardot's new partner, Bob Zaguri, encouraged her to pursue her sporadic music career, filming performances for what would become a prime-time American TV special. She had dabbled in music since the 1950s, playing guitar and singing while dating Sacha Distel. Her first single, C'est Rigolo, was released in 1962, and she had contributed to several film soundtracks. Zaguri enlisted Serge Gainsbourg to write a song for her, and he quickly penned Harley Davidson. The clip was shot just 2 days later, marking the start of a successful collaboration. Gainsbourg went on to write several hits for Bardot, including Bonnie and Clyde, Contact, and the controversial Je t'aime moi non plus, which he later re-recorded with Jane Birkin after Bardot asked him to withdraw the original. In the summer of 1966, Bardot met Gunter Sachs, a wealthy German industrialist and playboy in Saint-Tropez. Recently single after splitting from Bob Zaguri, she was swept away by Sachs' extravagant gestures, including a helicopter drop of 100 dozen roses over her house. Their whirlwind romance saw him whisking her to Germany for a grand fireworks display, the largest ever seen in Bavaria. They married in Las Vegas and honeymooned in Tahiti, but the excitement soon faded. Bardot struggled with Sachs' fast-paced social life, seeking solace in affairs with younger actors like Mike Sarn and Patrick Giles. Sachs, frustrated by her unpredictable moods, admitted he always feared a breakdown or even suicide. They divorced in 1969. After 1965's Viva Maria, Bardot's film roles became sporadic. Her waning interest led to inconsistent choices, especially in her later years. She starred with Sean Connery in the underwhelming western Shalako in 1968, then The Vixen, a 1969 sex comedy. One of her last roles, fittingly under Roger Vadim's direction, was in Don Juan, or If Don Juan Were a Woman, in 1973, a female take on the legendary seducer. Instead of a triumphant farewell, it proved another letdown. In 1973, at the age of 39, Bardot walked away from the film industry for good. After retiring, Bardot struggled to regain anonymity, with the public and press continuing to invade her privacy. Her romantic life remained a subject of intense interest. She had several relationships with younger men, most notably with an animal rights activist. Brigitte Bardot has been passionate about animals since a young age. In 1962, she campaigned for better treatment of animals in slaughterhouses, leading to a law change for less painful methods. From 1973 onwards, she focused on animal rights, advocating for improved conditions in zoos, fighting the fur trade, and funding the care of sick animals. A notable campaign was against the annual slaughter of baby seals in Newfoundland. In 1986, she founded the Brigitte Bardot Foundation for the Welfare and Protection of Animals, raising 3 million francs through auctions of her personal items. In the 1980s, Bardot battled breast cancer but kept her diagnosis private. She overcame the illness and continued her activism. She attempted suicide again on her 49th birthday in 1983 when she overdosed on tranquilizers and red wine. In 1992, she married Bernard Dormal, whose past ties to the far-right Front National Party sparked controversy. Bardot's 1996 autobiography then caused a scandal for its harsh criticism of her ex-husband Jacques Charrier and her candid admissions about motherhood. Charrier responded with his own book, My Response to Brigitte Bardot, in which he defended her love for their son. And that's a wrap, folks. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of the legendary Brigitte Bardot. If you've got any more fascinating facts or stories about her, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to support the channel. It really means a lot. So until next time, take care and bye for now.